Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is honor turn 53. Lots of metal attacks. In the Copperwoods, we lost this battle, and it's because my tyrant apparently just got cold feet. It's a fascinating little excursion here. He's got his 4 bodyguards, he's casting his buffs, he's summoning earth power, all that stuff. All of a sudden, this guy shows up and hits him, and his morale drops to 11, and I'm not entirely sure why. I must have missed it. Like, Communion Slave, Soul Slay, that's fine. I understand all that. Lumber Construct hits with a Frostbrand, and he's wearing a horror helmet, so he does lower leadership around him, but unfortunately, Gargaros, the Phlegra Tyrant here, he gets hit with the fear, and he just chickens out. His morale is 10, and then all of a sudden he routs. So my Gigante warriors are standing here fighting the good fight, and then, and they've already whittled Hazelheart down to like almost nothing. And then the commander runs and they all die. So that was hugely unfortunate. I mean, at least I didn't lose the tyrant. There was another battle in Gold Crags. Apparently my order to assault the castle didn't go through, or it didn't happen first, or something. In any case, this army dropped on me and wiped me out. They spammed Enslave Mind, captured my Phlegra Tyrant. My infantry, of course, just got annihilated because it didn't have buffs or magical support, so I'm not even going to bother watching that one, to be honest. I was attacked by barbarians in Ostmark, so I lost that province. Excuse me, got a frog in my throat tonight. Yeah, so things don't seem to be going great. They're going a little bit better than they look. I've got Gargaros moving back out by himself, well, with 3 Gigantes this time. I've got Karopos patrolling here. I'm moving HULK Smash, wearing a regen ring and a Girdle of Might, to support, and HULK Smash will be casting Personal Regen, Temper Flesh, and Iron Skin, which will make him very, very hard to stop. Electos is also moving back out. Amphimakos is just researching, because I need 1 more turn of Death Gem income, then I'll be able to empower him to level 4, and at that point I'll be able to start doing really cool death things, assuming of course that I survive. And this stack is going to slam into this stack with the support of Electos, who is going back on the field. He's carrying a lead shield this time. It's damaged, but it still does boost his defense. Why is it damaged? I just forged this. How could it possibly be damaged? That's weird. In any case, the main reason I'm holding it is to boost his magic resistance. And he will be casting Temper Flesh, Summon Earth Power, Iron Skin, and Phoenix Pyre. The Iron Skin may not actually be necessary. In fact, I'm going to replace that with Iron Will to boost his magic resistance by 4 more points, up to 26. And in fact, that's probably a good idea for all of these guys. So, Summon Earth Power, then we need Iron Will, and then Phoenix Pyre. There you go. He has low protection, so he actually does want Iron Skin, but he also needs Iron Will. And with his Vine Shield, he should be... Wow, it is a bad night for my throat. I've been talking too much. He should still be able to block most attacks. So they're going out. This stack might die. It's a smaller stack. It does have a lot of magic, and it has both Fog Warriors and Living Air in support. Let me double check my scripting just to make sure. Living Clouds. I don't have many gems here, but I do have a lab, so I can reload. So let's give him 4 gems. We're going to give him Nature Gems. Mr. Howell, Personal Regen, Mass Protection. And he is set on Conservative Gem Usage. Good. He's set good. He needs a Fire Gem. I'm actually going to give him 4 fire gems, because if there's one thing I have plenty of, it's fire gems. Where's the guy who is casting Fog Warriors? There he is. He still has 3 gems. We're going to give him 6. Because Fog Warriors takes 3, and Living Clouds takes 2 each, so actually he needs 7. These guys have used up their gems casting Living Clouds. What did they hit here in Abi? There wasn't much of a battle. Ah, they killed 1 Theurg. Great. Yeah, so Pythium moved out and left 1 Theurg carrying pearls. Presumably for this purpose of drawing gem usage. And so he did cast Doom, so he managed to curse everybody again. I got my Living Clouds off. There goes the Doom, so everybody's cursed. This is the same old tactic he's been using the whole time. And he got instantly murdered immediately after casting Doom. So, yeah, I need more air gems, which I can only really get through alchemy at the moment. So, let's get some more air gems. So we've got Living Clouds coming from him. We've got Living Clouds and Fog Warriors coming from him. We've got Air Elemental. No, that should be Living Clouds as well. Yeah, I think so. Or Marble Warriors, potentially. Let's just go Living Clouds. Let's drop 1 Living Clouds, then summon 1 extra Air Elemental, just for fatigue management purposes. And you should also be on conservative gem usage. And you are just Strength of Giants and Thunderstrike. Okay, so that's fine. No, it's not. You need 2, and let's give you 2. And you have a disease. Good, great. So, this army should, assuming he stays here, these armies will ram together. My army should either win or at least inflict crippling damage. He may be able to enslave some of my mages, which would be a serious problem, but we will see what comes as best we can. I have a whole bunch more mages. I can be moving up towards the front when I need to. I don't really need to just yet, and I do need research. I'm hurrying up the enchantment tree to get to Eternal Pyre and Lichcraft. Yeah, Eternal Pyre would be nice, because I have decent fire gem income, pretty good fire gem income, and I have Karopos, who is naturally fire 5, and can put on a hat and become fire 6 and cast it. And then he'll be fine. I'll also twice born him once I do that, to make sure he doesn't die on me unexpectedly. Yeah, Pythium's actually doing quite well, which is really sort of frustrating. Tianchi does have a big army there that might be able to do some damage. And Abyssia claims that they are moving on and fighting, so here's hoping. Vanheim has come and besieged Cormark. They've got a huge army here. They busted my fort in 1 turn, so I'm going to lose this fort. There's nothing much I can do about it. I can at least script this guy to cause damage. So he is going to be standing like right there. And all these guys are going to be standing in front of him. And he is going to just cast Living Fires. He's going to cast the crap out of Living Fire. He has, how many slaves do I have here again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just enough. Just enough. So we're going to go Phoenix Power and Living Fire times however many. And then just cast spells. So he's just going to burn through fire gems, spamming out fire elementals who will do some damage. Won't be able to stop this army by any means, but it might at least hurt them to some degree. And we will actually give him command of the Helots because he will boost their morale since they are slaves. Yeah, led by a taskmaster. You can see that helps them out a little bit. And the archers will just tell to fire at enemy, fire at closest enemy. And these guys will hold and attack closest enemy. The other option here would be to try to buff the Helots, but I don't think I can buff them enough to make them really matter. I mean, I have access to a lot of great buffs. I could throw Marble Warriors and Weapons of Sharpness on them, potentially. Or I could put down Fire Resist and try to cast Firestorm. There's a thought. There is a thought indeed. That might actually cause more damage than anything else I can do here. Yeah, because that's armor-piercing damage at random across the whole place. So, let's cast Phoenix Power, Resist Fire, and then Firestorm, which will, I think, basically annihilate the Communion to do, because it's 500 fatigue, split 8 ways, and then multiplied. It's not going to kill them, but it will cause significant damage. The Army Besieging Cormark. What does it have in it? Skin Shifters, Vans, Heavy Cavalry, no flyers except the Van Jarls and the Vanadrot, and I don't think they're flying. But lots of trolls, lots and lots and lots of Einhirs, many of whom are diseased, interestingly. Like, a ton of these units are diseased and starving. Oh, he hasn't been paying attention to supplies. I think this is Vanheim's attempt at a death ride here. I don't think he even has gems. I think he's just kind of sending this army in. Yeah, that's what it looks like. He's got 2 Heartfinder swords on his Van Jarl. Wow. And, of course, he has his Vans all blessed up with their Rainbow Bless, so there's that. But yeah, this is a big old Chaff army, mainly, with Sacreds, but the Sacreds are being held behind the Chaff. So what I think I'm gonna do is... okay, how many fire gems do I have? 8? Let's give him 11. So he's going to go Phoenix Power, Resist Fire, Living Fire, he should be able to cast that twice, I think. He can use extra gems to boost himself to reduce the fatigue. And then he won't be able to reduce the fatigue of Firestorm. Actually, it might be more useful to cast Acid Storm. So here's the thing. I could cast Acid Storm instead, and in many ways that would be better, except I cannot myself resist Acid Storm, whereas I can resist Firestorm. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking that's what I need to do. Let's go Phoenix Power. Actually, let's cast Temper Flesh, because Temper Flesh gives you fire resistance, and I think it gives you more fire resistance than Resist Fire. Then 1 casting of Living Fire. Make it 2 castings of Living Fire, and then Firestorm. Yeah, like that. And so that, with 11 gems, he should be able to manage that, I think. Let's give him, heck, let's give him 14 gems. Why not? It'll be fun. And then these guys will just kind of scatter out a little bit. This scripting, I think, will kill. It will just outright kill some of the Communion slaves. And that's just going to have to kind of be too bad. We'll put you all the way in the back to draw attack rear orders. We'll put the archers also in the back there. This script will take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 rounds total. So these guys need to kind of hold back a little bit. The enemy should be sufficiently distracted for that to function. They usually are, if for no other reason than because units tend to go up on the walls and get stuck trying to kill the province defense on the walls. So okay, we'll cause some damage there. It certainly won't be enough to stop that army, but it'll be damage. We are recruiting units here, as well as mages. These mages are moving here to join up and form a communion in Shinuyama, so I do have defensive measures in place. You should also move to join them if possible. Down here, I'm recruiting more mages. I'm recruiting more lizard shamans. Sort of all spiraling out of control at this point, but we will see what we can do. In any case, that's going to be the turn. I know this is brief. I'm trying to keep it brief, and I'm also kind of in a rush because it's late, and I'm not sure if I'm going to stay on another game because I started playing later than I should have. So, in any case, thank you for watching. I'll see you in turn 54, where we see how all this mess works out, and we'll also get to see a firestorm, which will be pretty cool. Alright, it is turn 54 of Honor, and two things happened this turn that are important. Actually, three things. First of all, there was a battle in Shepherd's Haven. We were attacked. I had a Tyrant and my God patrolling. I could have sworn I was doing something different there, but fine. It ended up working out. Unfortunately, this Tyrant was Karopos, who is my Fire 5 Tyrant. And he, I must not have scripted him correctly or something. Because he didn't buff his magic resistance like he was supposed to. Instead, he just went ahead and Phoenix Pired, and then he got enslaved. So here he is, having just finished all his buffs, enslaved. He's going in to attack Hulk Smash. Now, Hulk Smash is currently stunned. However, Hulk Smash has Protection 25, and 20% regeneration, plus 187 hit points. He's under attack by Asmodel the Angel of Fury, who is very, very tough and very, very hard to kill. But now watch what happens. Just watch this. Okay, do you notice anything? Notice how he's regenerating 40 hit points around? They're summoning false horrors and all this kind of stuff, but they're also summoning a whole bunch of ghost wolves, phantasmal wolves, because they've gone off script. If I had managed to get his magic resistance buffed, he completely would have survived, and I could have sworn I scripted that, but it didn't happen, so oh well. In any case, Hulk Smash is not really losing health. Once again, this is just like the Tyrant. He's paralyzed forever, but he's not losing health. So, just watch. I mean, he's totally surrounded. But he's losing health, I mean, almost not. Just very, 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 very slowly because of that 20% regen. And so, I mean, this goes on for a while. And you can guess what's going to happen here. All these mages are just casting all their spells. They're fatigue negative, because with the reinvigoration from the earth power and everything on the Theurg Communicants are actually taking damage here. Yeah, the Theurg Communicants are actually killed by the Communion spamming spells, which instantly drops the Theurg into near ineffectiveness. But they're just spamming out Phantasmal Warriors, and over here, look, still hasn't taken any damage. And so this goes on until, I mean, I'm gonna skip to the end. I'm gonna spoil it for you. This goes on until the turn limit, and all the enemy units rout. So Hulk Smash is actually gaining hit points at this point. But because he's surrounded by garbage that can't actually do much damage, and honestly, a lot of units have routed at this point. They're starving and diseased and all kind of sad. But because he's surrounded by garbage, Hulk Smash is just not taking damage. And yeah, he's still paralyzed forever. But I don't think he ever, yeah, as soon as he starts to wake up, they spam Paralyze at him again, and eventually they do get him with the Paralyze. So he ends up paralyzed for longer. He's taken some damage there, got some lucky hits snuck in, and he acquired an Affliction, so now he has a Never Healing Wound, but of course he recuperates. So that doesn't bother him all that much. And they spam, if enough Paralyze is spammed at him, he does eventually, yeah, he gets paralyzed again there. But it doesn't matter. They can't kill him within the time limit of the battle. And so in the back here, you know, you've got this little Communion, which is doing alright, but, I mean, some of the Theurgs are starting to fatigue out. This guy's a Communion Master. Communion Masters, I think they must have a couple of slaves still in here. I don't know who. Who's still a slave? You're all Communion Masters. You're just a Theurg. You're just standing around. Yeah, I guess not. I guess they don't have any slaves left. So yeah, their Theurgs are just fatiguing out. And they're just not killing him. He's gaining hit points again. They can't do damage quick enough to actually keep him down. And then everybody routs, as happens. And so he starts losing a few hit points here again, unfortunately. But the Angel has routed, all the summoned units are disappearing, and the mages have run off, so the paralysis is going to wear off. So, the only ones left on the field are these two units that are stuck in front of him, one of whom has gone berserk. And the Phlegra Tyrant that they stole from me, who is also berserk, and this guy who's berserk. I don't know why they're berserk, but he turns around, kills him. He, of course, respawns because Phoenix Pyre is still in effect. He dies again here. Yeah, he dies again there, but then I've also routed, so I just run off the field. Too bad. I would have liked to kill this guy so that he wouldn't get to keep him, but he got to keep him, unfortunately. But by doing that, I actually kind of won. I mean, technically I'm still under siege, but look, 288 units here. All their Theurg communicants were wiped out. They did get a Phlegra Tyrant, but he's not a commander, he's just a unit. One of their commanders died, as well as a couple of units, but more importantly, I retreated successfully to my fort. His army broke up, as armies do, and every province around except one was taken. So he's only got 120 units here now. More than half the army is just gone, which is fine by me. Now, Gargaros is not going to go down there to attack him because he would probably be enslaved, but he is going to move up here because we are storming Gold Crags. Unfortunately, I have contracted a few diseases through starvation. Astros is diseased. But with the gems that I have, I'm pretty confident I can win this one. If he moves this army in, I'm pretty sure I can wipe it out, especially with Gargaros' help. And I'm actually going to... I have to break the siege. So we're going to break the siege with HULK SMASH, who is just going to do the same thing again. He is going to carry on with his existing strategy. As a Pretender God, he is immune to being enslaved. And so we're just gonna bust loose. Now, Vanheim took my fort, and I don't know why this is, but, here. So remember I had that guy scripted to Firestorm? Well, he never Firestormed. He just never did it. He summoned a fire elemental there instead when he was scripted to try and cast Firestorm, and then it was too late. Then all of his communion slaves were murdered. So the enemy just kind of rushed it. I don't know why he didn't cast it. I should have scripted it first. Anyway, we inflicted some casualties, but not many. I find it quite frustrating, to be honest. But, yeah, this is a 518 unit army. This is a big freaking army, but not one with a whole lot of magic, and no gems behind it. So, I'm gathering mages here at Shinuyama to fight this army. Elemental spam is not going to work terribly well against it because those Vans are fast, and his Bless, I believe, has magic weapons. So let's double check. Yeah, he has magic weapons. Now, a whole bunch of his units are starving and diseased. So he has a big old rainbow Bless. But yeah, starving, diseased, morale 5 Vans. I can take them. It's just an issue of gathering the resources to do it. Down here, my mages were mind hunted and he recaptured this province. So yeah, he's spamming mind hunt like no tomorrow, which is understandable because he does have stellar focus, so he has a little bit of extra astral pearl income. Unfortunately, Abyssia has just informed us that he's pulling out. He's at war with Agartha now. He's attacked Agartha here. And so that is happening, and while that's happening, him fighting Pythium is basically not happening, which is hugely unfortunate because without him, kinda screwed. Like, not gonna work. It won't. It's not gonna work. So, yeah, that's a thing that I'm a little upset about, but que sera, sera, as they say, whatever will be, will be. So, We're going to have to muddle along as best we can. Also, I lost this province to a random invasion. And that is a whole bunch of Agarthan units just kind of sitting here, chilling, with an Oracle of the Ancients. Which I don't like. I'm not a fan of this at all. I don't know why they would be here except to attack me. You go back up here and be safe, please. But I don't like it. I just don't like it. So we're gonna launch some more scouts into places we don't have vision. They will probably be killed on their way. Over here, we're gathering troops to go take out Jintmark. It's mainly macemen and swordsmen, so a couple more turns of heavy cavalry recruitment should do it. I'm still recruiting oppressors and shackled mages in equal numbers there. I'm moving mages from here up to Cerny. And I will be gathering them there to move up towards Shinuyama to stop Vanheim. I'm going to give some Astral and Nature gems. Almost said Astral and Nature pearls, but only the Astral ones are pearls. Recruiting mages there. I'm not moving these mages yet. I'm just spamming infantry everywhere I can. I do have 2 more tyrants who are moving to Gold Crags to help out. Actually, I think I'm not going to move them to Gold Crags. I'm going to move them down to Shepherd's Haven, and I need to script them with something. I need to give them units is what I need to do, because they can take units. Oh boy, can they. And I have many, many units to take. I am empowering Amphimakos to level 4 death, which will enable me to do all sorts of fun shenanigans, like summoning the undead. I have Conjuration level 7, so with Death 5, I will be able to summon Wraith Lords and all that good death stuff. So Wraith Lords are, of course, immortal. At level 8, I will also be able to cast Well of Misery. So I'm going to hit Enchantment level 6, and then Conjuration level 8 will be my next target for Well of Misery. I have pretty good death income, so I should be able to get to Well of Misery pretty rapidly. Once I empower, I will be... Don't defend, empower. Anytime you change something about somebody with an order, no matter what it is, their order is cancelled. It's one of the things that frustrates me the most about Dominions, because several times I have lost orders that I really should not have lost because of that. So, Hulk Smash is going to break the siege once again. He's going to do exactly the same thing that he did last time. Shade Forest, we're going to pump up a whole bunch of just random Barbarian Province defense in Shade Forest. I have the cash for... nah, that's a waste. I should keep my cash. We'll put 6 points in. And I also need to put some province defense in Nam. We'll put 16 points in Nam. I should be able to take Gold Crags, like I said. Gargaros will help. He's going to be up here in the corner. And he will Temper Flesh, Iron Will, summon Earth Power, Phoenix Pyre, and attack the rear. With the Earth Power, he'll have a reinvigoration of 7. With the Tempered Flesh and Iron Will, he will be very, very difficult to hurt. His magic resistance will be 21, so if they send in a... They shouldn't probably be scripted to spam Enslave Mind too much. And there's a lot of targets. We'll set him kind of back there so there are closer targets. So hopefully they won't hit him even if they do. But in any case... we're going to storm the castle and just wipe it out with elementals and arrows and all kinds of fun stuff. It'll be a good time. These guys are just still researching. I should start recruiting some more slaves back again. Mercenary-wise, I do have the Ghoul Father. 180 pounds of gold for ghouls. Sure, let's hire the Ghoul Father. Let's bid like... He's not that valuable. Let's bid like 221 on him. I always bid a weird number, like 1 more, just because if people are hitting the shift key, it'll beat them by 1 point. And sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't, but often it's valuable. Misamalak can search for magic sites. If he dies, it won't be too terrible a loss. I need to also search these places for magic sites, but I don't have spare gems at the moment. I also need to take Ostmark back. That I definitely need to do. So we are going to... He only has 15 leadership. Let's actually give units to Running Cloud then. take all the archers. The archers will help. About 30 barbarians. Okay, so you all hold and fire closest. You all hold and fire closest. You stay in the back. And y'all go take that back, please. I would love to have that 47 income. So yeah. What happened in Shinuyama? I don't know why there's a crossed sword there. Yeah, I don't know why there's a problem there. But in any case, we're gonna have to defeat this army. If we defeat this army, it should be relatively simple to roll up Vanheim, I think. Because that has to be the bulk of their military production, like forever. Hopladamus and Ifadamus are going to take their troops down to here. We are going to forge some crap as well. Am I, like, freaking out of hammers? How have I lost all my hammers? Frustrating. Well, we're going to make a new hammer. I'll tell you that. Let's make a dwarven hammer, then we'll use that dwarven hammer to make more dwarven hammers, because our earth gem income is actually pretty good. Earth gems, death gems, and fire gems, we're all doing fairly solid on. Pearls we're also doing pretty well on. Nature gems, I could use more of. We're going to fall this guy back here. Yeah, going into the water is just being really, really troublesome. That mind hunt is devastating. I think he's doing it from the fort that he took from Phasia down here. So, gonna probably pretty much have to leave the lake to Agartha, which I guess was always gonna happen. I will definitely miss the income, especially Lake Purple. Lake Purple has a lot of income, and I could really, really use it. But, needs must when the devil drives, as they say. So, let's pump up a little bit more province defense on these shores to discourage raiding. I do have a lab here. This Banefire Brazier I would definitely like to keep. And these provinces I need to drop a little bit of province defense into as well. So, that's going to be the turn. We're going to try to take Gold Crags. After that, given that Abyssia is basically pulling out, after I take Gold Crags, if I can take Gold Crags and break this army, I'm then going to try to negotiate with Pythium from a position of relative strength, because I've broken this army with Hulk Smash. It still exists, but all his communion slaves are dead, and about half of his total forces died in the retreat. I will offer to let him keep this province, which has a lot of gem income, as I said before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Half of it death. This is a super, super valuable province. It's also right next to Pythium. So, we'll let him get this one back. But I'm going to try to keep Gold Crags, especially because Tianxi is pushing on this side. They've besieged a fort. They've got a pretty significant army moving in. Uruk is getting the crap kicked out of them by Pythium. Pythium has a couple significant armies over here, and it looks like they're just ripping Uruk a new one. That's Uruk right there, and it is under siege. And this was an Uruk fort, that's an Uruk fort, and that was an Uruk fort, all of which have fallen to Pythium's armies. So on my side, I'm not doing the worst. I'm not doing the worst. Tianxi and I might, in fact, be able to take it if we can just keep pushing. Yeah, actually, if I can take out that army and capture Gold Crags, I might just say the hell with it and keep pushing in, because I've got troops for days, and I'm not afraid to use them. Especially once I get death stuff online in a big way. Urias. Yeah, Urias, take all these troops and move forward to take Abi. Abi was just taken by a Vanheim stealth patrol. Actually, I don't know how much is there, so don't do that. Hold what you got. So that's gonna be the turn. Like I said, we may have to negotiate a ceasefire with Pythium. If we do, we will attack Agartha and finish off Vanheim. I'm going to have to finish off Vanheim no matter what I do, so troops are going to have to be diverted in that direction. So actually, to be fully honest, I may divert some troops here. Because Hopladamos is Fire 4. If I give him even more Fire Gems... and Iphidamos. Let's split those Fire Gems about evenly. Let's send these two actually up towards Vanheim. Where they might be able to do some good here. It's actually Earth Gems they would want to be using, but let's send them there. We'll send them to Nam first, then they can break in whatever direction they need to, depending on what happens. But overall, I'm kind of liking this. Like, that battle was clutch for me. Destroying an army and most of a communion, that was really good. This battle down here, where I broke that smaller communion and scattered the troops, that was also really useful. And if I can win this one, that will be key, and that will bust the whole side of Pythium wide open to me. He'll probably have to pull back something in order to help deal with me, unless he has a lot of troops down here that I don't see. But so long as I can keep a flow of mages heading towards the front, I think I'll be in okay shape. Towards that end, I'm going to take all of these guys and start them moving towards Phlegra. I'm also going to take... you have a never healing wound, that's fine, I don't care. I'm going to take all of these guys and start them moving towards Phlegra. It'll tank my research by 100 points or so, but... oh no, I don't want to do that because I need to take it. Well, no, troops alone could take out Jitmark. That's okay. They have 3 mages, but they're not very, very dangerous mages. And I have all these guys to provide communion slaves. So all I'll need is the heavy cavalry and these guys to take them out. All these mages can start filing towards the front. These mages are filing north, and we should be pretty good. I think we can take it. So, thanks for watching. That's turn 54. I will see you all in turn 55. Okay, folks, it is Honor turn 55. And basically, Pythium and I have returned to the status quo antebellum. Disappointingly, there was a battle in Gold Crags. Let's watch that battle so I can show you what happened. So if you recall, this battle I had planned a whole bunch of magic. I was going to summon a whole bunch of air elementals. I was going to cast my own fog warriors. I was going to be doing all kinds of cool stuff. And let's see what actually happened. Okay, so first of all, that was too fast to see any of those spells. But, so he's dropped his spells there. He's dropped mass protection to give everybody on his side of the field bark skin. It also makes them vulnerable to fire, but he then casts a mass fire resistance spell and then fog warriors to give them all mist form. They're also all shock resistant now, and they all have air shields. They're basically immune to missiles. At this point, his infantry are incredibly tough. Just incredibly tough. I have just summoned a whole bunch of my air elementals. However, they are getting distracted a little bit by the angels in the back. And I'm firing flaming arrows and actually murdering a lot of my own air elementals. I'm also firing flaming arrows at his ethereal troops, his ethereal air-shielded troops, which accomplishes nothing. Literally nothing. My air elementals run into the middle of his army, and they start trampling, and they're not doing very much damage. Like, not very much damage at all. To be fully, completely honest. Because, with his troops all fog warriored, they just don't take damage from being trampled. I've dropped Howl, so the wolves are going in, but, same thing. With all the defenses he's got, his troops are not being killed very much by that. And he is casting Enslave on my Shackled Mages. I don't know if he's doing it very much just yet, but a whole bunch of my troops are now retreating with low morale because of the damage I've been taking. His air elementals are trampling me, and sometime in the chaos here, as my army runs, he enslaves a whole bunch of my Shackled Mages. So, in the end, I accomplish nothing. Absolutely nothing. I killed his wyverns. I did kill his 4 angels of the host, so that's something, I guess. But, I lost 8 shackled mages, so basically 8 more Theurg communicants for him, because they turn into units, but they stay communion slaves. And I lost most of my army. All of my shackled mages, 5 of my oppressors, my sage. I didn't lose my prophet, thank goodness, but I also lost most of my troops that were involved. So it was a debacle. I've come to the conclusion that in order to fight Pythium, what I have to do is I have to go back to my original thought. I just have to drop nukes as hard and as fast as possible. I must kill as many of him as I can very early on, because after that, his communions have the combinations of paths necessary to drop buffs that make him almost invulnerable. I can try to outbuff him, and to some extent I can match him, but his troops start off at a higher quality, and then, since he's got all the Theurg communicants, I did not appreciate exactly, because I don't have much experience with communions before this game, or didn't, I didn't appreciate exactly how much of an advantage Theurg communicants gave Pythium. Yes, they're all bunched up and so theoretically vulnerable, but they give him just a huge number of communion slaves anywhere he wants them. Like here in Gold Crags. In Gold Crags, he had 38 Theurg communicants, because he can recruit Theurg communicants at the same time as mages. And so, he can have just a ton of communion masters, a number of communion masters that I actually can't match very effectively, because all of my communion masters and all of my communion slaves have to be mages. So overall, I was wrong when I said that Phlegra was the best communion nation in the age. Pythium is definitely in competition. Now, if I was a better player, this could be going the other way. If I hadn't... but anyway, you know, no use crying over spilt milk. Fact of the matter is, I can't beat... Pythium has been outplaying me, and I have not been able to beat them. This despite the fact that most of my armies have been committed, and only probably about half of theirs have been committed against me. You can see they've been over here just kicking the crap out of Uruk at the same time, and they've been holding Tianqi down. Tianqi is still invading, they're making progress, slowly, but they haven't really advanced far in terms of distance. And, yeah, they're taking a lot of damage in the process. So, overall, well, there's no easy way to say it. I've made peace with Pythium. We're not doing the war with Pythium thing anymore. And partially that's because of Vanheim. Vanheim has moved their giant army down from Cormark to attack me. I need to counterattack Vanheim as quickly as I can. Now, Vanheim is not using a whole lot of magic to support this big army, so I think that big army is going to ram into Shinoyama and probably get wrecked. I'm hoping that they give me enough time to get these folks into Shinoyama, but they're not going to. Which means, unfortunately, I'm going to have to do without Howl and such. But this is a fairly nasty little communion. I'm recruiting one more Trophimos Oppressor. And without much magic support in this army, I should be able to take it. So these guys are going to move over there. This is a little army of a Vanheir and 12 Vans in Bright Woods. A Vanadrot, sorry, one of their big mages, and 16 Vans. So that's a pretty nasty little raiding squad. If you'll recall, they have a pretty heavy Rainbow Bless on their Vans. Snorri here. Where's Snorri? There's Snorri. He doesn't have any gems. He does have Faithful, which gives him luck. So he's hard to kill. He also has defense skill freaking 27, because that's how Vanadrots roll. Faithful gives him 4 defense. Mounted shield parry. Basically, his defense skill is just absurd. And with his bless, of course, he's got magic weapons, dark vision, reinvigoration, magic resistance, extra HP, strength, and blood surge. So he's a tough cookie. The Vans, likewise, tough cookies. They actually stopped to throw their javelins here, which was a little bit silly, but then they come charging in and wreck my little Slinger Province defense. So, my armies are going to be redirected to go and fight Vanheim, because that is what I need to be doing. And Vanheim I can fight, to be fully honest. So, that guy is going to die of a disease. I don't have the resources or, frankly, the attention to do much about that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's start moving these guys over towards Vanheim. in order to take care of the Vanheim problem. All these guys are moving towards Vanheim. Electos, who is pretty fully geared, is moving towards Vanheim. These two, not Ivadamos, Hoplodamos and Yazrid Ibn Hassar, who I just hired, are going to go fight Vanheim over here. I think they can do it. He'll be dropping Astral Fires, and Hoplodamos will just be Temper Flesh, Phoenix Pyre, Earth Power, and go in. Should have enough reinvigoration to be neutral in combat. And he won't have high protection, but with the Temper Flesh he'll be taking less damage. And he has a Firebrand, so he'll be hitting pretty hard. So he should be able to go in and just wreck things. I'm also bringing 75 Healit Warriors with him. And good old Yazrid will be in the middle of those guys. And he has his ghouls to serve as fodder. So probably what's going to happen here is a whole bunch of troops get slaughtered, HP rout, Hoplodamos holds the field and hopefully wins, if through no other way than by exploding repeatedly. Beyond that, just kind of moving troops up, shifting away from Pythium and towards Vanheim. Down here, I'm going to go retake this province with a small army and one Trophimos Oppressor spamming Maws of the Earth, casting Maws of the Earth a couple times. Not exactly spam. Actually, I'm going to hold off on that one turn, because I'm sending a guy over here to grab all this heavy cavalry, so I'll grab all that heavy cavalry, and that will help. I am also moving my Adepts of the Iron Order north. Now, what I'd really, really like would be more Earth Gems. I am getting 10 per month, which is good. I'm researching Conjuration 8 so that I can grab Well of Misery. It'll take me 8 turns to build up the gems for it, and honestly, this game is already fairly late, so I might not be able to get it. But we'll see. Hopefully I can. I also hope Abyssia somebody stops the freaking Wrath of God sometime soon. Fortunately, I didn't lose any commanders that time. It's not that dangerous. It's not hurting me that much. It's just annoying. I lost a Surian again. I did kill a Wyvern. That is this province here, the one with all the gem income. So that's unfortunate, because that is a lot of gems. But I'm not going to be able to take it back. And Amphimakos has empowered himself in death, so he is now Death 5 when carrying a Skull Staff, and can summon Immortals. And once I forge a Skull Staff, he'll be able to cast Well of Misery for me. Once I forge a Skull Face, I mean. Now, of course, forging a Skull Face takes a lot of death gems, so it's going to be a while, but I'll alchemize in order to get it done, and I'll accomplish what I'm looking to do there. So yeah. So I'm going to let them attack Shinuyama. I think a lot of this army is starving and diseased and suffering afflictions, so they're only going to get weaker over time. If they go over here, they're going to run out of supplies. If they attack Shinuyama, they won't run out of supplies, but I'll be able to hit them with my communion, and I'll just sally out and do a whole bunch of damage to them. So that's the plan. I lost this province to a night attack. I took this province back, lost a whole bunch of crap that I don't care about. We're going to summon up a whole bunch of infantry, go in and retake that province. I've already got 45 units here. I'll move these commanders back. They have 670 leadership between them. I don't have any other commanders. I'm recruiting a Shackled Mage. Why don't I recruit a Trophimos commander here? And then spam out a whole bunch of archers. Yeah, like that. There we go. Because infantry-wise, I've got quite a few Healit Warriors. They won't have any magical support, but I think they'll be able to hack their way through those knights with their axes and all. And I'm still making some Lightless Lanterns as well. My research is it's okay. If I was actually focusing all my mages on research, it would be better, but right now people are kind of moving around. You should be capturing slaves, since you're standing around. In terms of forging, I am forging an Armor of Knights, because I've got another dude coming out this turn. I'm also going to forge him a Shield of Gleaming Gold. And then I'm going to forge... I can't afford a Firebrand, unfortunately, because I've used up so many gems. Weapon. Only have 1 Earth Gem. Really unfortunate. And only 7 Fire Gems. Because I'd love to forge a Firebrand, but that will cost more Earth Gems. You're forging the Armor of Knights, and you're using my hammer. Well, with the armor and the shield, he'll be alright. He'll be able to use his spear with the armor and the shield, and after all, with that kind of gearing, it's not about causing damage with weapon attacks, it's about not dying. So let's also forge him some boots. And so my next tyrant that I come out, I'll gear up, and we'll be good to go there. Electos is actually set up to both Thug and Firestorm Trap. Where is he? There he is. Yeah, he's scripted to cast Firestorm right now. That's a dangerous script to leave on him. I was planning to do it to Pythium. So we're just going to have him clear his script, and we'll move him... Well, let's send him in, actually. Let's not clear his script. Let's just give him this script. He only has 1 death. Yeah, let's give him that script, and we'll send him in as well. He's got a lot of reinvigoration. He's got 5 reinvigoration, even wearing that fire hat, which he doesn't need. Without it, he's 8. So, excellent. We can keep that fire hat in reserve for now, so we can slap it on somebody who needs it. And we're basically just going to push back against Vanheim. As soon as I get my next tyrant, I'll give him a whole bunch of schmucks. A whole bunch of Cyclops warriors for siege purposes, probably. Some of these guys have diseases. Only the one, I guess. Okay, well, that's fine. And we'll send him up and we'll attack Holberg. We're going to break this army magically, hopefully, and go besiege Emmerich. And that's going to be my focus for now, is going to be absorbing Vanheim's territory, because God knows I wasn't getting anything out of the war with Pythium. Now, I am not actually going to tell people that I'm not fighting with Pythium anymore until they ask me, because hopefully Tian Shi and, of course, Uruk will continue fighting Pythium. I would like that. And Pythium will then go down and fight Abyssea. Now, the reason that I did this, one big reason that I did this, is Abyssea has attacked Agartha, and they are kicking the crap out of them. So, we've got this Scorpion Man Experiment, who is an Abyssian national hero, who went and took this province, and I don't know how they've geared him. But Abyssea is just kicking the crap out of Agartha in all kinds of ways. Yeah, they've geared him very, very heavily. So he has a Bloodthorn, which does Life Drain. He's got a Vine Shield, a Horned Helmet, Elemental Armor to give him Resists, a Heart of Life to give him Reinvigoration and Poison Resistance, Lodestone Amulet, and Amulet of Anti-Magic. So he has a lot of magic resistance. So, he's incredibly dangerous. Plus he has Fear. And a Heat Aura. So now he's going to summon Earth Power to reinvigorate himself. He's going to cast Iron Skin to make himself even higher protection. Then he's going to Temper Flesh. Then he's going to throw a Fire Shield on himself. Then he's going to cast Legions of Steel because he wasn't tough enough already. So he's at Protection 32. He's reinvigorating at 14 per round. And he's just and he gets 4 attacks. He's just generally incredibly dangerous. Funnily enough, one of my tyrants could probably beat him because his attacks are relatively low damage. And none of them are armor piercing. He does have Death Poison. The Pincer is armor piercing, so there's that one. But one of my Phoenix Pyre tyrants with proper reinvigoration could, I think, still whip up on Malakastus, just because they do enough damage to blow through his prod. But he comes in here and he wipes out this province. In Fenica, Agartha attacked Abyssea and got the crap kicked out of them. Just the absolute crap kicked out of them. This was just not good. Not good for Agartha. That was too small an army, for one thing. Then they have all these Hellspawn from the Abyssian National Crossbreeding. And Hellspawns have this Belch Flames attacks, and they have lots of other attacks, and they tend to have high protection, except the ones that don't have any armor at all. Even they have some protection. Plus they have firepower and heat auras. They're, you know, they're tough. They're shockingly tough. He's spamming imps back there. And these flying Hellspawn are already going into attack. They are part undead or demon. Interesting. Anyway, they're attacking these wet ones. Over here, the defenders of the halls are getting buffed, but it's not going to help. We've got a storm up to debuff fire magic. But he's now made his whole army mistformed. So that's gonna be a problem. And we also have heat from hell up on Abyssea's side. So basically, there's a furious battle right here, and Agartha loses. After which their troops run from the Agarthan armies, and most of the mages get away, but not nearly all. They lose 2 of their golem crafters and most of their infantry. So that was in Fenica. So yeah, that was a throne fort. Now, Abyssia already has 3 thrones. They need 10 points. They've got 5. They're going to take that throne. They've taken that province. They took this province. They're besieging this fort. So that throne is also in their sphere of influence. So basically, by ending the war against Pythium, I am freeing them up to go fight Abyssia, which I desperately need them to do if Abyssia is not going to outright win the game, like right now. Oh, and Abyssia is besieging Ermor, so they're about to get a huge death gem income. I probably should have done this earlier, to be honest. I was too focused on fighting Pythium, not focused enough on the fact that Abyssia was literally about to win. So, that has to change immediately. I have to cut through Vanheim, I have to attack Abyssia myself, because Pythium is becoming secondary. If Abyssia wins, none of it matters. Agartha looks much less threatening now that they have huge Abyssian armies crashing into them from both sides. In any case, that's the turn. I'm not in a great position. I'm probably in an okay position. I'm in a might be able to fight my way clear and survive position. I'm even in a could potentially make a play for the game if I live through the next 10-15 turns position. That said, I don't think I'm going to win this one. I think I've just gotten slowly outplayed over time. And the war against Pythium did me no favors. I mean, like I said, we're back to the status quo antebellum. I lost a couple of tyrants. He lost a bunch of angels. Both of us lost armies. I think overall I took the worst of it. But I was kind of able to hold my own. Mainly, if he had thrown his whole nation against me, I would have lost. I would have either learned much more quickly than I did, or I would have lost outright. But let's let bygones be bygones, and we will figure out what we can do here. I'm not going to try to go into the lake again. It's not worth fighting over, to be honest. And I would rather focus up here. So I'm going to go kill Vanheim and see what we can do. In any case, that was turn 55. I'll see you all in turn 56.